If you spend time in a car, then you know just how frustrating it can be to share the road with a bad driver. They text and drive, they go too fast, they cut you off, and when they steal your space, they can't even parallel park in it. We're here to talk about some of the worst drivers ever. Is AAA spokesperson and safety expert Robert Sinclair. Robert, great having you back with us. So I'm curious, how many times in your life do you think have you ever asked yourself, how did that man or woman ever get their license?
Particularly in the morning when I'm on the way to work and in a big hurry, we say that. There are a lot of bad drivers.
I say that all the time here too, especially living in New York City. Okay, we're going to get started with distracted drivers like this guy in Rockland, Maryland. So Robert, what happened here?
This is a person who's trying to park at a strip mall, but unfortunately he decided that the space that they were parking in wasn't long enough and decided to park in the kielbasa store, driving into it, then reversing back and running into a truck. But what we can't see, because he destroyed the truck with the camera, is that they ran into the store again. Did lots of damage. There were people inside that were trying to get away, trying to escape, cut the electricity to the store, did damage, but all their kielbasa, their sausage spoiled, and they opened on the 13th. They had to reopen. Maybe they need a better day.
Oh, wow. Okay, so obviously a lot of damage done there. What do you think the takeaway is for drivers?
Probably you have to keep your vehicle in good shape. You need to stay alert. This was probably a distracted driver, and know the gas from the brake. That could have been what happened here as well.
Okay, next up, this photo of a car that landed in the second story of an office building. It's just shocking. Walk us through this crazy incident.
This is excessive speed. This is a Nissan Altima that was flying down the road and went through an intersection, hit a median divider, and flew up into this dentist's office. It looks like a Hard Rock Cafe, if you ask me. Yeah, I found out that the driver actually was on narcotics, so that's one thing that we shouldn't do. We shouldn't use drugs and drive. But it's a very serious crash and narrowly missed a bus and a vehicle going past.
It looks like it was unbelievably violent. You mentioned the driver was on drugs. What happened to the driver and the passenger in the car?
Well, the passenger was injured slightly. They both had to be extricated from the vehicle. There was a small fire. I don't think the dentist practiced dentistry there anymore, but it was a very serious crash.
Well, they're lucky that the damage to the passenger and the driver wasn't any worse, because that could have been absolutely terrible. Okay, the next story involves speeding and a toll booth as well. What happened in this case?
It seems toll booths bring out the worst in people. This person was probably changing their mind at the last minute, looking for a shorter line. Excessive speed was part of the problem. There are usually rumble strips at toll booths telling you to slow down and wake you up, and the person hit the divider. Very dangerous situation, particularly for those toll takers. And in fact, this was in China across most of the United States. Wow. We were going to cashless tolling. Part of the reason to get the toll booth the persons who are collecting the tolls out of a dangerous situation.
People always seem to get so impatient when they get to the toll booth, right? Yeah. They're always trying to find the shortest lane. You just got to take your time, pay the toll, and go on. Okay, next, a horrifying accident caused by someone driving under the influence. What happened here?
This was a doctor. She was at a Whole Foods, backed up, hit something, and then sped forward, lost control of the vehicle. She, in fact, was the Doctor of the Year in 2009. Dr. Kristen Howard, according to the police, she was under the influence. She went flying forward across the median, struck these vehicles. She was in a lot of trouble. She had to stop practicing medicine. She was going to AA meetings. She was thoroughly remorseful, but she's not a doctor anymore. And in fact, the person that she hurt in the crash was taken to the hospital where she was practicing medicine.
Kidding.
Yeah, so here was a person who's supposed to be taking care of people and helping them, and wound up hurting them.
And it's reported that she was self-medicating herself, which of course is illegal as well. Okay, finally, let's talk about parking, because we all know there's a lot of people that just can't park. Like this woman, for instance, whose epic parallel parking fail entertained two guys who were watching her for almost 4 minutes. Watch this.
Come on. Oh, damn. That's good job.
All right, she finally just gave up. She just kept on going. Lots of laughs by those two guys. How many tries do you think is too many when it comes to parallel parking? At what point do you think you should just give up?
Well, if you're in the city of New York, here, you better do it the first time. Yeah. Somebody's going to get upset. We have to learn how to drive. Part of learning how to drive is learning how to park. Unfortunately, driver training is on the wane these days. Not many people are doing it. High school driver's ed has been taken out of a bunch of schools. roads. So, you know, she needed to practice. She needed to be taught how to parallel park and get it done the first time. It's a small car. There was plenty of room for her.
Yeah, that's a lot of room in New York City. That's like enough room for a boat, maybe.
Absolutely.
Hey, parallel parking's tough, man. Good news is, though, there are cars out there now, though, that'll do it for you, right?
That's right.
Just a thought, maybe. Robert, always great having you here, man. Thanks so much.
Good to be here.